Welcome to part second of the video. Many There are many people in the world who are upfront and highly knowledgeable. But the count of these people are limited in few hundreds. And there are millions of idiots in the world, and especially the regulators, who do not want to listen to them. When these hundreds of people came in public domain and explained their thoughts, majority of the people do not like that because they are beyond expectations, they think beyond convention, and they challenge the status quo, which people do not like, by the way, as we speak. There were many people in 2006, in early 2004, 2003, who came in public domain and said that Libor is getting manipulated. But the regulators, they tend to disregard these voices. Why do regulators disregard these voices? The sense is common: money. You do one corruption, pay something, and you get scot free. This is how it works. And no country is an exception. Globally, when we speak about regulatory agencies, just like Securities and Exchange Commission, Federal Reserve, Financial Services Authority, Financial Conduct Authority, PRA UK, and many of these forums, International Monetary Fund, World Bank, World Trade Organizations, and many, these forums. There are many committees on the board of these institutions. I repeat, committees. And the role of these committees is to give advices, or rather recommendations, to the body. Basically, expert advices, but how expert they are, we knew. From 2006 onwards, the world is facing the financial crisis. Frauds after frauds. Big fours, whether they are EY, KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, they involved almost in all scandals. And Google, if you Google it, you will get to know they are found almost everywhere in the world. But did any one of them sentenced? License cancellation? Barred from prohibiting the business? Never. On the board of a central bank, there is always a committee called Money Market Committee, whose responsibility is to guide the central bank on time to time basis, let them understand what the hell is going on, how exactly it works. Similarly, we have mentioned in this subject in this book, but let me first read and then I give my opinion. It was an arrangement that suited the real nexus of power. The official sounding Foreign Exchange and Money Market Committee. I could easily recall because I had a practical, I repeat, I had a practical demonstration of how central banks are paid. So I could easily recall that this book is correct at this part, that Foreign Exchange and Money Market Committee. The Foreign Exchange and Money Market Committee, FXMMC, was made up of about 15 representatives from a Libor setting banks who exercised a veto on anything Libor related. Ivan, who was there to act as a secretariat. Likewise, if any evidence of manipulation was discovered, it was the committee that decided any punishment. In its 22-year history, 22, not a single firm has been sanctioned. The way the group conducted its business was more akin to a meeting of 5 families than a professional body. Members of FXMMC were never named, no minutes of meetings were published. They met every few months at undisclosed locations. All new members were proposed and then vetted by existing members. Means existing members are proposing the new members. Very good. I am your relative. I polish your boot. I would be the part of committee. The BBA refused to divulge what was discussed or decided. This is the FXMMC. Now wait a minute, I have something more to deliberate. There is a concept called too big to fail. And there is a concept called too big to save. And there is a concept called too big to decide. Page number 56. The banks on the committee had a sound reason to resist significant change the way Libor was set. By 2008, the benchmark was embedded in an estimated 350 trillion worth of derivative contracts. 350 trillion. And I always doubt whether this is correct figure, because till now the world do not know estimated notional amount based on Libor. And 10 trillion of loans around the world. So 350 trillion of derivative, 10 trillion of loan, total 360 trillion. To put this into a perspective, the total amount of the US mortgage debt outstanding at the beginning of 2015 was 13 trillion. Any substantial alterations could have invalidated these contracts. Some of which, in case of interest rate swap, last decades. On the top of that, acknowledging serious flaws in Libor would have left facing a barrage of litigation and legal issues. Page number 56, this book, Bloomberg. I would like to add something in this, which the author missed: knowledge. Bloomberg. There is a concept called fallback language. It is not a computer language. It is not artificial intelligence or machine learning. It's called fallback language. Now, what the hell is that? Fallback language means that if you wanted to change an existing nomenclature with a new nomenclature, you can opt for it. And you will get a time to get this done. It is not that you need to get this done on an overnight basis. This is completely incorrect. It is not like that. Henceforth, mentioning that any substantial alteration could have invalidated those contracts, the author is not aware about the fallback language. So would FX Money Market Committee. This book is by Bloomberg. Apparently, you feel that this is a substantial book, but when you read with your knowledge, thanks to God, you feel that this book lacks at majority of the places. Like in the earlier video, which I shot on this book titled Benchmark Regulation, I pinpointed many mistakes, and here I am covering FX Money Market Committee. In this part, what we understood is that FX Money Market Committees, they officially sound like a very strong committee having multiple banks, having experts, but technically speaking, they are weak, extremely weak. And the end result, we have scandals like Libor and many such scandals which we would be covering. That is something which we need to learn in the FX and Money Market Committee. Now, see you in the part 3 where we would be exploring more.